Hey everybody, this is Charlie Musselwhite, and you're listening to Athena After Dark. I ain't lying. Thank you, baby.
Hey everybody, welcome to Athena After Dark. I hope you all had a great week. I know we sure did. It's been crazy busy. Get ready for bike week. Got some things around in the studio. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you tuned in. We have a great show, great guest tonight. So let's kickstart this baby and get it rolling. All right. So going to do our upcoming events. You know, we like to let everybody know what we got going on. So this coming Saturday at Teddy Morse, Harley Davidson, Destination Daytona, there's a ladies motorcycle show, and we will be there. I'm going to be a guest judge. So come out, ladies, bring your rides. They have all these classes. It's best in show, best paint, Sportster, big twin, bagger, metric, and trike. So come out, maybe find a new motorcycle you like, some nice duds that you can wear. We'll be there. So definitely come out and see us. All right. After that, we have, the 11th, the weekend of the 11th, Chopper Fest. That is in Ventura, California. That is the David Mann Chopper Fest. Our Songbird and Mondo will be out there. So go out there if that's in your area. It's an excellent event. It's on my list of to-dos. And then we have that same weekend in Missouri, St. Louis, we have Cycle Showcase. So Randy puts on an absolute phenomenal display. It's very eclectic. His lighting is very cool too. Okay. All right. So then, of course, his lighting is cool. We've hung the light bulbs. All right. Save the date. Bike week. It's the 1st through 10th. All right. So I'm going to give you some stuff that we're going to be doing during bike week. And first up, Sons of Speed Races. That is on the 2nd at the New Smyrna Speedway. So if you guys haven't been to Sons of Speed Race, you have to go. We're planning on being there. All right. And that's sponsored by Northern Tool and Equipment. They're made for this. So it's awesome. Then Monday, you kick off the event for us, Flying Piston Benefit. I'm doing a Stasic e-bike, and along with 3 other builders. All the proceeds go to All Kids Bike and motorcyclemissions.org. You can get tickets, come out and see us for breakfast, and that is Monday the 4th. Starts at 8:30, I think, till noon. That's also at Destination Daytona. So come out and see us there. All right. Then on Wednesday, the morning ride, the Biker Bells. This is an awesome event. Absolutely love it. This year, I believe Ellie Rains is leading the parade. She's a co-captain, and I'm so excited about that. 11 of my friends are doing great stuff. And so then after that, the ride is going out to Destination Daytona, Teddy Morse, Harley Davidson, and there's going to be a Renegade Babes bike show for the ladies. So again, it's a fun-filled day. Have to be there. You can get tickets right there on the screen, buffalochip.com/bikerbells, and then the event. All right. Then on Thursday, the reason to go to Daytona, Willie's Tropical Tattoo, the Chopper Time show, old school chopper show. There are so many motorcycles there. You got to get there early. It's crazy, ridiculous, off the chain how much absolute rolling metal art is what it is, because they ride them in and they ride them out, and it is fantastic. That's on Thursday, and that is March 7th, 11 to 4 p.m. We'll also be there with the Cycle Source crew. I'm waiting on some Cycle Source flyers to get up here for Daytona. I'll get them up next week, so we have them. All right. And then, you can also check out Destination Daytona. They have some bands. On March 2nd, Jasmine Kane is playing, and it is absolutely fantastic. I am so excited. I get to see her there, too. That's after the Sons of Speed Race. But full itineraries there for what they got going on. So check out Destination Daytona. Okay, and then, of course, like I said, I'm going to get some other stuff up there for Bike Week, Cycle Source shows, Dennis Kirk Garage Build Show. But at the end of March, last weekend of March, Donnie Smith's show, it's the 21st, 22nd that weekend. So go to Donnie Smith Bike Show. It is the 35th annual Midwest Extravaganza at the River Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm so excited because we're actually going to be there for that one too. That's a dream. You know, he's one of my motorcycle heroes. Okay. Then in April here in South Florida, yay, they're coming to South Florida. We love when folks come to South Florida. All right, so April 20th, we have Iron Goddess Motorcycle Show. This is for the ladies, but guys, you come out and support all the ladies that want to bring their rides out there. All right, and then we will be in May, Tennessee Motorcycle and Music Revival. So on the screen, it's motorcyclesandmusic.com. TMMR is a jam-packed festival full of so much fun stuff. You can see hill climbing. You can have, they have RV rentals. There's so much stuff. We're going to be in the Bill Dodge Bling Cycle Invitational show. So come out. That's another fantastic show. If you're in the military, if they still have them available, 500 free military passes. You just go in and use code HD Hero at the checkout. Okay, and they require your military ID. So those are the events for us. We're excited about that. Yay! Things seem to be going smoothly here. We're working on lighting. Hey, I can do that. It's not a green screen. It's real. We're working on some lighting so that we get it all in there. So this is kind of makeshift. We're adding to it as we go. All right. So then we're going to go on to our next segment, Ask Athena. So this was a question that I thought was kind of cool. So I thought I'd answer it. So it says, Dear Athena, my name is Jody. I'm 24 and live in Tulsa. Do you ever get tired of working on motorcycles? I want to be a bike builder, but everyone says I have to start at the bottom and work my way up. Why? Can't I just build a bike and see how it turns out? What are your thoughts? Okay, Jody. So I do have thoughts on this. It's best to learn the intricate parts of motorcycling, and you have to start by, first washing your bike, and then, kind of servicing your bike and learning the ins and outs of the things that go along with motorcycles. I mean, you're not just going to jump right in and line up the drivetrain and set up all your stuff. There's a lot to it. Most of us started working in the corner on the floor somewhere. I've broken more stuff than can even count, just on things. Safety issues. There's safety issues that go along with it, like Don says, smash your finger in the brake caliper. Anyways, there's a lot to it. So, I mean, garage builders do it. If you're looking to do it for a living, you have to start at cleaning the trash cans and washing parts and, working up from there. Wash motorcycles every chance you get if you're working on bikes, because then you can find things that are loose. And if not, make sure you make good friends with the detail guy. So if he sees anything, he reports back to you. But if you're going to go ahead and do it as a profession, go ahead and go to school. Go to MMI, get certified, make sure that you're training. Safety is very important. We tell everybody you can leave one bolt out of a car and go for 10 years. You never know it. You leave one bolt out of a motorcycle, you can kill somebody. So, those are my thoughts on it. I mean, I didn't just do this. It was a progression. So, and I broke some stuff, and I hurt myself. And you never practice on anyone else's motorcycle. If you're going to do it on your own motorcycle. So, you know the pitfalls to what can possibly happen. All right. Well, I hope that answered your question. Those are my thoughts. Okay, there you go. So I want to shout out to our sponsor and our friends. So let's take a minute to do that. I'm going to put that in there. Techno Research, our sponsors. And then we got our sponsor, Viking Bags. Biker Lives Matter, Cycle Source, Paco. We love our Paco parts. S&S Performance Parts, the best aftermarket parts that you can find are the folks that we deal with. Chicago Motorcycle Supply for your vintage stuff. Baker Drivetrain, Willie's Tropical Tattoo. And you're in Daytona, Ormond Beach, go get tattooed, whether it's bike week or not. Farm Life Creamery, order. They send it all over the country. It's fantastic. And we have Open Road Radio. Gina Woods has her show an hour before us. So you can always check her out on openroadradio.com. Miss Maggie's South Country Inn. That's the place to stay in Daytona. If you can get a room at this bed and breakfast, you're lucky, and you will definitely never, ever stay anywhere else. It is a fantastic place. Tobacco Road Harley Davidson in North Carolina. Biker Bells. Teddy Morse Harley Davidson. We have Biker Net. And then Twisted Tea. Those are all good friends. We're going to be adding more. Working on sponsors, going to be adding some of those too. So keep your eyes peeled. And yeah, I'm so glad you guys are all watching tonight. You guys know how much I love my guests. We're going to go ahead and do a dose of goodwill. I always ask the guests to give us their charities and their organizations that they support. So we like to do a little feature on them so everyone knows what's going on. And you can support them as well. So we are doing great. Dawn's doing a great job tonight. I'm so excited. Thanks, babe. Okay, so KurtCaselli.com, the Kurt Caselli Foundation. This is a young man who was a racer. And he lost his life while racing the Baja 1000. So their organization, their mission is to, again, like we all say, safety, riding safety, track safety. If you go to their website, you see all the different things that they do to help keep everyone safe while they're racing. It's a fantastic organization. I really enjoyed learning about it. So I hope that you will go there and check it out and support. You can donate. Other ways that you can volunteer and do things like that. So, and I think you'll really enjoy it. I thought it was really, really cool. And then ridemyroad.org. Now, this is a young lady who rode thousands and thousands of miles, and folks sponsored her, and it was to get the word out there about domestic sex trafficking. So if you can go to ridemyroad.org and check it out, the story is awesome, just everything behind it. So I suggest that you definitely look it up, support it. We're going to go ahead and put these two on our favorite charities page on the website. So you'll be able to go and click on the link right there. And well, now you guys know how it goes. I'm super, super, super excited. We're going to go through some pictures. We get to announce our guest. And so I have a few pictures. She sent me some pictures, text them to me. I was just trying to put them into the actual program. I know Google locked me out. I'm learning. I'm doing pretty good. I'm not going to jinx it and say anything about hiccups or no hiccups. So we're just going to go with it. All right. So I'm going to show the pictures that I have. Tonight's guest. This is Samantha Doffo of Doffo Winery, Motodoffo Collection. The Instagrams Don will put up there, and Samantha_Doffo. So her family comes from Italy, and they moved to Argentina and then to America. Her dad, there he is holding a goat's face with his cousins. He learned about making wine. So their family history, as you can see, is motorcycles and then also wine. An uncle taught him. So thought that was really cool. This is their beautiful winery. Look at that, picturesque. And it's in Temecula, California. Fantastic. If you guys haven't had the wine, we're going to talk about it. It is awesome. They have a Motodoffo series. We'll also talk about that with Miss Samantha. I love the color on the bottles. I love the backdrop. She sent me some cool racing pictures, and I'll put those up on the website too, but somehow I didn't make it. Look at that. And the glass, you can see the logo Motodoffo. I love it. See, and you get to, when you drink wine, you have a whole different outlook on things. I have to drink more wine, I think. There she is, riding. That's her motorcycle. She's racing. I think that was the day at the track again. All right, and this is the winery. So this is like their gift shop there. Super cool. Her dad is a collector, and he has over 200 motorcycles and scooters that span 8 decades. So can you imagine the collection? And you can see that there at the winery. That's an older photo. Again, they're just all that. That's called the barrel room. She says it's made some changes since then. And there she is. And there's a series, a bottle of wine. Sarah Liberty last year took pictures, and she was the artist that took the photos on there. They had 4 bottles, and it was really, really cool. Fantastic. I loved it. I tasted a little bit, but Dawn knows I don't drink too much. So, okay. And then there she is. She's presenting, talking about the wine. That's how you can get a hold of her. That's the Instagram, Doffo Winery at Motodoffo Collection, and then also at Samantha_Doffo. So we're going to bring her in. I'm excited. This is super cool. Let's see. Dawn's doing a good job. Dawn's getting us in there. Hey! All right. Hi,
Good evening.
how are you?
I'm good.
Good. How are things going out there? Weather's nice?
Weather's nice. Everything's great. Just getting January under our belts and looking forward to February when we release some new wines.
Oh yeah. So I grew up, my parents were hippies. They drank wine, but it wasn't good wine, it came in the little bottle with the little bit of wicker basket around it, or it was the Ripple. It was hippie wine. So, but as they got older, they started to get into more wine. So, and I know a little. I've had a 69 Ramazan once. I wasn't really impressed with that. It kind of was a little uh, tart and dry and kind of like what I imagined the room that it stayed in tasted like. It wasn't a real good thing. It wasn't really
Yeah.
good. But I've had some of your wine and fantastic. It just has real culture. Each bottle has its own, I guess, yeah, you would call it culture, because you can taste a little bit of the oak, and there's different things. But so I guess you have stuff coming up for 2024. In February, you're going to release new bottles of wine.
Right. So we do a couple different releases throughout the year for our wine club. So the Motodoffo line comes out in January, and then the Doffo brand in February as our first release. So wine club and then general public. So
Okay.
we're excited.
And now, can anyone join the wine club?
Absolutely. Yeah. You can go online, join it. You don't have to come into the winery to join. You can join directly online, never set foot at the winery, and still get our wines and a gift and some merch if you join the Motodoffo.
Right. Because you get like it's seasonal. You get delivery.
Yeah. So it's 4 shipments a year. Correct. Uh-huh.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I was reading up on that. I'm like, oh, I'm joining. That's for sure. Don laughs at me. He's like, yeah, 1 glass in. He's like, that's it. You're done. It's okay.
Luckily, it lasts a couple days, right? So you can have a glass today, 1 tomorrow.
Right. My kids always say that too. They're grown. They're just like, you should drink, Mom. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. They're like, be a wino. And I'm like, yeah, no, there's more to it than that. It's the good stuff. But maybe I'll come out to the winery and get to check out some of the stuff, and you could teach me some really good stuff about wine.
Sure.
Because
yeah.
everybody wants to be a wine connoisseur, for sure.
Of course.
Like that's a thing. But so now, your venue there, you have the winery. You also have a program where they can stay the night, right? So they can be fresh and ready to go for wine tasting, and then the next day, right?
So yeah, I mean, we have one single suite on site because our winery was actually my father's house. And so when he finally moved in his retirement, and I say that loosely, he transitioned across the street, and we took the suite, and my sister did a beautiful job remodeling it. So we only offer the suite to our wine club members, but we do have right behind a nice large Airbnb that is on Airbnb. So
very nice.
so
okay,
it's in walking distance.
Good.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Can we see that?
There you go. Look at that. I love that. That's so picturesque. That's a beautiful shot of the winery. I love how Doffo is painted on the side of the building like that.
Right. So that's a view from our hilltop. So you're looking at the backside of the barrel room in that photo, and then the next building in front of that is actually the house.
Okay, I can see it. Okay, that is so cool. That is very neat. Okay, so then also with regard to the wines, so you do a series every year. You allow an artist to take photos, and you make the labels for your wines.
Right. So the Motodoffo collection wines are a specific, like it's our secondary brand, and so the idea was to always do blends, and then since our tagline is wine art moto, because the motorcycles are on the walls as art, it was fitting. And we chose, and it's not just photographs. We've had different art medias. So we've had, paintings done, and then we turned them into labels. So you showed a black and white one with that picture with the wine glass. That is a Makoto Endo. And he actually painted those labels on huge canvases with a chopstick and ink. So those were
Wow.
really cool, right? So we've commissioned a lot of art, and then it gets turned into a label. Sarah's photographs were the first time that we actually did, photos in movement of, riders actually doing their thing.
That is neat. That is very
Yeah.
neat. So, okay. So then, racing. You and your family race. Now,
Right.
your dad's been into motorcycles his whole life, right? He is a
Pretty much.
collector. Okay,
Absolutely.
because I know you guys have like 8 decades worth of stuff. Um, you race CB 160s, you said?
Correct.
You road race. Okay.
Road race, right.
Okay. So now your dad races, your stepmom races, you, your brother, your sister, and then your daughter.
And
Anyone else's kids?
my brother's 2 children, his sons.
Okay.
And eventually I think my sister's little son is going to join the ranks,
That is so cool. That is
It's
neat.
addicting and it's easy, and we're fortunate that we now have, all the different size motorcycles in our own collection for the kids. And so we'll do like a Thanksgiving. If the parking lot is empty, we'll all go out there and ride mini bikes.
Right. That is so cool. All right. So we were talking about doing a contest, like a live contest here.
Right.
So my chats are coming in. I see they're starting to come in on this side. Okay. So tell us just a little bit about your favorite wine, because you have a variety. I would love to know your take on what your mood sets for your wine, what you eat, you pair with food. Some of the folks out here are foodies, but they wouldn't ever know what exactly to have with a cheeseburger or a fish sandwich versus a plate of lobster and steak versus whatnot. But you can have wine with anything, good wine.
Yeah, and everyone says, oh, you pair white wine with fish and chicken, but at the end of the day, it's what you like, right? And so
right.
Can you have a white wine with a steak? If you want to, go for it. No one's going to tell you no, right? And you only live once. So, but me personally, a white wine on a very hot day is absolutely the best. I'm a big fan right now of one of our white blends, which I think you might have tried it earlier at Sturgis. The Gran Bianco, the white blend.
Right.
And that one's just super refreshing, easy to drink. And then I'm a big fan of our sparkling wine. It's named after my grandmother. It's Paulina. It's also a really nice, light, bubbly, goes down super easy on a hot day. But if I'm going to have a glass of red wine, I'm super, inclined to drink our Mistura, which is one of our signature blends, is the first blend my dad ever did off of the property. And it's a 60% Cabernet and a 40% Syrah.
Syrah. So that's more of a dry wine than
it's really well balanced. Our wines don't tend to be super dry on the palate. Initially my father, who then taught my brother to make wines in that style. We don't like things very heavy in alcohol. Like, we don't want you to only smell the alcohol when you first take a sip. We want you to be able to enjoy it, sit down with your family and have a good conversation even after dinner's over while you're drinking wine, because that's traditionally how we lived. And so, we have that where we have to stay at the table and enjoy the company. And so our wines tend to be more that style, right? They're great, excellent wines. They do really well in competition, but for us, it's more about the family experience.
Okay. Yeah, and your family does all of that. I do know my mom's dad, my grandpa Jack. I remember when I was little, we would go to his house, and for a little bit they were redoing our house, and before school, he would sit me down at the table and you get a little bit of orange juice, a little bit of wine, and some leftover lasagna. That was breakfast, and it was like, oh, okay. After like day 5, I'm like, Mom, can we go home? Can we go home yet, Mom? And the teachers they could smell it on me, and she'd be like, were you drinking? And it's like, you don't know what to say. Like,
Yeah.
not really, because that's just tradition. That wasn't any more than like grape juice. You know, my grandpa Jack, go get the grape juice. That was the grape juice. So,
My grandpa makes all kinds of juices with wine too. We would kind of, get a little grossed out, but I get it. Like they need to balance it out when they get older.
Right. So now people have this vision in their head about wine and people stomping in the barrel with the grapes with their feet. So any of that go on at your place?
Yeah. So we do a stomp, if you will, for we have a club called the Barrel Club where people can join. It's a smaller group of people that come in and we let them into the vineyard. My brother gives them the rundown on how to harvest the fruit because we harvest by hand. And then the part of, the initial sorting and getting the fruit ready to go into fermentation. So in that time frame, we let people stomp on the fruit, but that's really the only time. We're not, we do things old school, but not that old school.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That is too cool. So,
and they do get their feet washed before they go in. So
before they go in, yeah, definitely. It's like a foot scrub and then alcohol wash.
Yeah,
just
a
to
little
make
bit
sure,
something. We gotta,
funky stuff. And we won't tell anybody. See him back there tossing that batch and just, okay, you're in there. You're good. That's awesome. That is so cool. So, any events that you're going to be at this year, like motorcycle events or other places that folks can come and see you?
So coming up at our place actually is in April. We're bringing back one of our favorite events called Women, Wheels, and Wine. So that's April 13th. And we've partnered this year with The Real Deal. And so Teresa and I have just been on the phone and planning it out, kind of what the day is going to look like.
Phenomenal lady. I hope to have her on the show one day. So
Yeah,
much. Yeah,
you
super
should.
cool. Yeah, and Sturgis, she was just that was a pleasure getting to know her a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. So we've done stuff with her in the past, and this time it's slowly, it's going to be focused on her and getting her new scholarship just kind of off the ground. So I'm excited. So we'll be raising money for their scholarship. Prior to that, the original Women, Wheels, and Wine was for motorcycle missions.
Right.
So we did that one, and then in June we always host our Kurt Caselli Foundation Day. So we raise money for, and it's funny that you showed the Caselli Foundation and Ride My Road because those are the two that we've worked with in the past. Well, Caselli, we're going into year 11.
Nice.
Just
the whole profile, his history is fantastic, and what they do, I mean, it matters. It really does matter.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't realize just how dangerous it is with those guys racing in Baja or any of those desert races. And so just in general, it's really cool. And yeah, we've developed a really great relationship with the Caselli family as a result, and obviously with KTM because they're in our backyard here. And so it's been really nice to see just how much it's grown. And then we'll see if Lauren is coming back for Ride My Road. Last year she had some stuff going on and couldn't come out and do the event, but that's one that we, is very close to our heart, and so hopefully we'll get to join forces with her again.
We're gonna put that on our charity page.
Yeah. Anything else? We kind of, as they come our way, we say yay or nay to moto events, but I know that we're racing. So that's
the important part.
Yeah.
Where will you be racing? Where can they find you? Like, is there a circuit they can look at that they can find you at?
The ARMA is the organization that we race with, and I think there's the first race is like mid-April up at Buttonwillow. And then our favorite one is always at Laguna Seca in July. So we'll do that one. And, I think that's cool. It's hard. There's not a lot of on the West Coast. We have to get out to, to the South or the East Coast to do more. And unfortunately, it's a lot of travel for us. So
yes,
we'll
I understand that.
But yeah,
sometimes
a lot of winery
events. To come to your event. Yeah, I mean that's what you do, So
definitely, it would be great to have you in April. I'm reaching out to everybody to see, all of the Moto family.
Well, I love it. I love networking and getting to know everyone. That's the important part, because then we get you get to see different things and you get to try different things, so that you find new avenues to explore. And again, more cultural enrichment can't hurt. No matter if it's in the form of two wheels or an art exhibit or a motorcycle museum, it's more is always better. So that's super cool. I love that. Okay, so how do you feel about some questions?
Let's go.
All right. Okay, so first let's announce everybody. So we're going to give you a bottle of wine if you live in the correct state and she's allowed to ship it to you. What we're going to do is we're going to ask this question, and you can comment in. Hopefully all these are working. And if you have the correct answer, first one with the correct answer wins. From tonight's show, yes. Pay attention, babe, so that when they comment in, you can see it. And I'll reach out to you. You can also, if we call your name, you can send me an email, and I will get all your information and forward it to Miss Samantha, and she will send you a bottle of wine. So, go ahead and tell us what's going to be our question tonight.
Okay, our question is, on the Motodoffo label series, who is the first woman to ever be featured on a label?
Nice. Okay, so we're going to go through our questions, and then you guys message in, let us know what your answer is, and the first one with the correct answer, well, then if you live in the right state and it's allowable.
And it wasn't me, so.
Right, there you go. See, there's the hint. That's the clue.
Out of all the women in the world, it was not you.
Right, exactly. Okay, that's so funny. You're so good. All right, so we're going to start with some questions. We're going to do just for fun to start. So, dogs or cats?
Oh, I have both.
Both. Okay.
So, I currently have 2 dogs and 2 cats and 2 kids.
2 kids. That's how that goes, right? Then now that's you sent me some pictures. I did my best to get them in. I didn't see the text. I'm gonna post some of them. But you did send me one that was super cool. It was your daughter following you around on track day. Yeah. I thought that was the neatest thing. Now you said she's a teenager, so she's into racing.
She is. She started flat track racing with my brother, but she's also a club soccer player, which she goes back and forth between what she wants to do with her life. She either wants to be a pro soccer player or a pro racer.
Both. Pick both. Right. Pick both. Hi, Rob. Hi, Michael. I see you guys out there. All right. So, apples or oranges?
Apples.
Apples? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you like a chocolate or peanut butter on your apples, or are they just stock?
I'm peanut butter.
Peanut butter? Okay.
Yeah. It's a good snack.
It is a good snack. It's kind of healthy, lots of protein.
Had a Honeycrisp?
Oh yeah, Honeycrisp. My husband loves Honeycrisp. He's like,
those
if
are good.
you bite into it, it's the best. And I'm like, babe, but I waste it because I just smear peanut butter. Oh, he did this experiment last week. He cut one open because they're supposed to be bread so they don't turn brown. That apple sat on the counter for like 4 hours, 5 hours, all day. Didn't turn brown. I was like,
wow.
Okay. And every couple hours they bred it that way, and I'm just like,
then you gotta wonder, like, what are you really eating?
Right, I don't want to eat that. No, not at all. I want stock stuff. That's the way it goes. Okay, so hotel or camping?
Hotel. I mean, if I have to rough it camping, I could do it, but yeah.
If it's the right race on the right day and there's the right prize involved, right? And there's a hotel at the end.
If there's glamping, I'd opt for that.
Okay. All right. A lot of us, I'm learning about that, but a lot of us are really into that. And I'm really liking that because it's a mix of both worlds, you get a little taste of all of it. So you feel like, and you don't have
like you're roughing it. Right. But then your back doesn't hurt.
And you don't have to crawl off the floor. Yeah. That's so funny. That is too funny. Okay. So, slow or fast?
Fast.
Fast.
Always.
Always fast. So yeah, racing, no joke about that for sure. Okay, so breaking or making?
Making.
Making. Yeah. There's something good about that. You get to see it at the end result.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's something about the creative of,
Part of it,
and
yeah.
doing stuff. Yeah.
And I don't like breaking stuff because it always ends up costing me money.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's costing me something.
Right.
It's too funny. That is it. So sunshine or moonshine?
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
I like the moon.
that.
We need the negative ions. However, I'm all about the sun.
The sun, yeah, the sun is good. And you live in a spot like me. Although I don't know what happened when it's 42 degrees already here in Florida, and you're north of me, but you have 70-degree weather, so there's hope.
Yeah, we dropped 30 degrees in Temecula, which is why it's a great wine growing region.
Right, up and down, goes around.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, so what would be your favorite song?
Ooh, this is a tough one. So I'm a music like super connoisseur. My favorite song, I think right now, is "Standing on the Moon," Grateful Dead.
Okay, nice. I like that. I like that. Back there on my shelf is my Grateful Dead bear. He's over there. I'm a Deadhead.
Yeah,
I love Grateful Dead music.
Still a
There's some
Deadhead,
things that go.
Jerry.
Yeah,
I tell my
and
kid,
there's
I'm like, hey, I'm not old enough, but I am because I actually got to see Jerry. So
Right, right. And it's one of those things. There's so much in it, though. There's so much involved in it. You can get lost in any one instrument and all of it. And then, yeah, I remember my first Grateful Dead concert, but we're not even going to talk about that. We're not allowed to talk about that.
Well, I took my
too
kids
funny.
on the Dead and Company final tour. We went to a lot of shows this summer, so
Nice.
it was fun.
That's awesome. That is cool. So you get the Cool Mom Award. That's neat.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. You learn a lot of good stuff that way, being out in the world. You got to experience it. It's through experience. So what's your favorite food?
So I love artichokes.
Okay.
I could eat artichokes every day.
All right. Now, do you like them grilled? Do you like them?
I like them grilled. I like to steam them. My mom makes them stuffed with like parsley and garlic and Parmesan, and they're fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I'll eat them, marinated out of a can. I don't care.
Okay. People say it's a lot of work, but it's really good.
It's really good.
Really,
yeah.
Really, really good.
I went to college in Santa Cruz, and I lived in front of a artichoke farm. So at night we would steal artichokes.
Nice. That's funny. So my parents, when they moved from Chicago, there's a whole story to it, but we ended up going up to Santa Cruz. My dad had friends that lived in the mountains there. We lived in San Jose for a while, but that was, 74. It was really cool. Yeah, it was unique up there for sure. There was some hippie movement going on there.
There's certain areas that you can't even go up.
Right.
They tell you, like, you gotta be careful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. My mom used to cry going up in the car because half the wheel would hang off the little side of the mountain. If somebody was coming down, they'd have to back up into a cutout so that you could go. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was some interesting stuff. That is too funny. Okay. So if you were a superhero, who would you be?
Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know. Maybe Wonder Woman. She's the coolest.
I like it. Yes. I'll go with that. She is the coolest too. Very
cool. Cool outfit. I mean,
And awesome transportation. All
around, right?
Plane,
and she has a whip.
Yeah. The lasso, right? Yeah. And the bracelets.
And the bracelets,
cool jewelry. The flex. Yeah, no BS.
She accessorizes really well.
Definitely. Right. I have to say yes. That's the goddess thing. That was she was Linda Carter. Yep, she was fantastic.
Yep.
Okay, so if you were a cocktail or a mixed drink, what would you be?
An old fashioned.
An old fashioned. Now, if you were a wine, what would it be?
Ooh, I would be a Cabernet Franc.
Okay, we had to throw that in there. Being that wine is what you do. I see you out there, cool man. Cool man, you should answer the question. The question was, who was the Love me some Sam. Yeah, we're not gonna put that one up
Oh,
yet.
Carly.
I love her. She's so good. Love that woman.
Carly, you should come out on April 13th. Come out for the event.
Yes. Oh yeah. She should be there.
Yeah,
She
she should be
definitely
there.
should. Yes,
Yeah.
that's a definite for sure. That is too cool. And that's going to be on the winery website, right?
Right.
The Motodoffo. Okay, because
Yeah.
I'll put all the links up there and make sure that we have.
Yeah,
that
we
for sure.
haven't finalized all of the vendor participation, but it should have a save the date on the website ready to go. It's free to come. There's no tickets or anything. Anybody can just show up.
Perfect. That is
Yeah.
so cool. That is super cool. All right, so we're going to get into some serious questions here.
Okay.
How did you get started into motorcycling?
My dad put us on bikes early on in Baja.
In Baja.
In Baja, yeah. So we learned to ride in the sand. Yeah.
In the sand.
So
Nice.
I think I was like 6 or 7.
7.
Makes
Yeah.
wrecking kind of easy.
Yeah, I guess it's, well, I always tell everybody go on the grass, but in the sand, I guess, I don't care. When you wreck, no matter how you land, it's still not easy.
Yeah, it still hurts. But we
still
started
hurts.
like the 3 wheels, the little Honda ATV
Okay.
or ATC
Nice.
back in the day. And
Mhm. Yeah.
Like
and then
a fat
we'd
cat.
ride like 4 up on a 250 because we were little, so we could fit on the seat.
Right. Yeah. I love it. That is
Yeah.
so super cool. So, what was the first bike that you had? When did you decide you were going to ride 2 wheels? Was that something he's like, here's 2-wheeler, or you're just like,
Yeah, I mean, he taught us pretty early on. I think one of the first times I like knew that I wanted a bike, I got in a fight with my cousin. I think I was like 10 or 11, and he had a 50, like I think it was the Kawasaki, and he wouldn't let me ride it. And we were in Mexico together, and I was like, just let me take a ride. And we got in a big old fight, and I think I shoved him off the bike. And then it was like the parents started
Yeah.
arguing, like,
right.
You
She
know,
needs her own bike.
and so
right?
then at that point I was like, and then we didn't get one. My dad put us on, he got like crazy fabricated go-karts, and then we had scooters, like we had all kinds of stuff to ride around near his house. And then I bought my first bike. My dad was coming home from Argentina, and I called him and I said, I need you to stop in Orange County on your way and pick up a Ducati I just bought. And
Oh yeah.
and he was like, okay.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's awesome. That was your first street bike, huh?
that was my first street bike. Yeah, a monster.
That is so cool. Oh, and they sound so good. We
They
always
do.
talk about it when we go to the track in Daytona. You'll hear ying, 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 wah, 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 wah,
Yeah.
and they just go by, and it's like, yeah, there goes the Ducati.
Yeah,
That
there's
is so
nothing like
super.
that sound for sure.
Nothing like that. And then my hubby, he was crew chief, one of our friends, a road racer with the Ducati, and he was like in last place, and he's like, come on, just be my crew chief. And they actually took like 4 classes in the series, like,
Oh, wow.
at
That's
the end of the series. So yeah, we love motorcycles. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what would you say has been your biggest struggle in motorcycling?
Getting my knee on the ground.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I have the little bit of I go into, the track with a little bit of fear of like, if something happens to me, what happens to my kids?
Right.
And so like that is always in the back of my mind. But for the most part, my brother's really good at coaching. And so we'll go to track days together. And even though he zooms past me, he'll like notice little things, and then he'll come in and he'll be like, okay, go a little further, like look a little further, push a little further, and just to get me to what goal that I want, which is, at the end of the day, I just want to finish a race. I'm not trying to, be on the podium or anything.
Right.
But, it's going against your time and getting a little faster each lap.
Yeah, perfecting it as you go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like anything else. Eventually that leads you to the podium, because you're constantly challenging yourself. You're not in a competition with anyone else. That's so that it matters even more when you get there that way.
Well,
So
we're in
that's super
competition
cool.
with each other, so technically I compete against my sister and my dad's wife, and my sister's pretty fast, so catching her for me is huge. But my dad's wife and I kind of go neck and neck. But then last year, the year before, there is a lady, Karen. If you're listening, Karen, it's on this year because
Love it.
she's fast, yeah, and she's got to be in her 70s.
Holy smokes. And she's just rocking it, huh?
Rocking it, yeah. And she has no
Oh,
cares in the world, and she's quick and she's out there, and I can't
she's
catch her.
doing it.
And when I do, I can't pass her.
Not yet.
We need more.
Not
Not
yet,
yet.
not
Need
yet.
more
We
horsepower.
need more horsepower.
Yeah, right. That is too funny. That is funny. So, what's your favorite motorcycle to ride?
So right now I ride a R9T, and it's by far been one of my favorite bikes. The Ducati had a lot of issues. I loved it. And then you showed a photo. That was a W800 Kawasaki. I bought that. It was a little front heavy. Sold that, and then bought the BMW. And I've really enjoyed it. Like it's just so fun. Yeah. So that's the Ducati.
That's the Ducati.
And then the
yeah.
black and white where I'm sitting on the ground, that's the Cowie that I had.
Yeah, he's gonna go back to that because that was a good. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty bike, but it didn't do well on the highways, and you have to ride on the highways here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's no doubt. And they go like there's a lot. There's 6 lanes each side, and they're doing all
Yeah.
100. That's like here
It
too.
caught all the rain grooves. It was not fun.
Not fun at all, right?
No.
I understand that. I've had a couple choppers that were like that. It was like, yeah, no, we're gonna
Yeah.
try again. Let's do something else with that. Okay, so what would you say is your favorite route that you've ever ridden?
So I really we have some great riding here in Temecula and out towards, going east into the mountains and into San Diego. But we did a road with some back roads out to Baja with a group of women a couple years ago. And that was probably the best trip, going from San Felipe to Bahia de Los Angeles. It was a about 200-mile stretch. It was not the right time of year because it was freezing January with crazy heavy winds. So
Okay.
It was a hard ride, but it was so beautiful.
That
I would
is so
totally
cool.
do that again. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe pick a different time of year for that one.
Yeah.
but definitely.
Yeah, a little warmer.
Hey, let you know what you're made of, though. It's really about the ride. So the rest of it, so much doesn't matter all the time. Exactly. Okay. So what would you say your most favorite event or rally would be?
So, we are SoCal kids, so I feel like the Moto Beach Classic that Roland Sands does is probably one of the most
That's a
fun
good show.
events that we
Yeah.
do, because we get to pour wine, we get to be right there in the mix, and Roland's a good friend of the family, so it's great to go out and support, and him and his sister have just always been super supportive of us, so it's probably one of the best events.
Yeah, I grew up on their family brand. Like Perry and Ted both. Like the first time they ever spoke to me at an event, I was like, "Oh, wait, okay," like yes,
Yeah.
yes, and oh yes, oh yeah. Then it was a first name basis, and I was just like, "Okay, this is super cool. This is like." Because again, that's that thing. Certain people in our industry and in our world, we had posters hanging up, and now to be around them is like, wow, that's like ridiculously neat. This is too funny. So, okay. So, who would you consider your childhood hero?
My dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I totally get that. Your dad's super cool. His history is super cool.
Yeah,
too.
and he, just like his stories, like, even if we've heard the story multiple times, it's always captivating, but sometimes he'll just bust out with something we've never heard before. And, like, I'm 46 and there's still stuff that he'll tell me. And I'm like, you did what?
Right?
That's
awesome.
And he's just always, at the end of the day, he was a good parent, but he always, allowed us to have that freedom to really just express, whatever we were into at the time. When I said I'm going on tour with the Dead, he was like, okay.
Okay.
Let me know if
That's
you need
awesome.
anything,
Right. Check in. Make sure you check in. Let us know you're alive. Yeah.
Send me some money. I'm hungry.
Right. Yes.
I need a miracle.
But we grew up, that was that thing too, though, where we grew up, you went outside all day. You played
Right.
outside all day. It's a whole different
Right.
world, It's definitely something different. Okay. So then, who would you consider your motorcycle hero to be?
My motorcycle hero, Melissa Paris.
Melissa Paris. Okay. Tell us a little bit about Melissa Paris.
So Melissa Paris is a female road racer. I met her through Roland Sands, and I just felt like when we met, we instantly, bonded, became friends. But she, learned to ride later in life. She was like 18, 19, and just fell in love and became a road racer and traveled the world racing. Like, she's a super badass. And so now she's, building and coaching and has her own team, and it's like she's awesome, and she's like 25 minutes away, so it's cool to be able to go to her house. And she keeps inviting me to get on the track with her out. She has a flat track in her backyard, but I haven't done it yet. But
now's the time for sure. That is so cool. That's neat. That's really neat that someone that you look up to too is that close, and you get to, because at some point there'll be a small spot in your schedule and you'd be like, you know what, hell with it, I'm doing it. I wanted to do it. Yeah. So that's
cool. It's cool. I mean, we're definitely like mom friends. She has 2 kids. They're the same age apart as mine. Mine are older, but we definitely share a lot of friendship and just in all aspects. And she's super supportive of anything we do with the winery and female riders and all of that. So
very cool. I'm definitely going to look her up. Sounds like somebody we'd love to have on the show too.
Oh, that's fantastic. You should. She's awesome.
Yeah, I want to look up her history. That is so cool. All right. So then I get to go to my next page. I'm in the dark here. So we have this fluorescent light up, and they just put new lights in. It's LED. So no matter which way you go, it shines all this light. And I just put the studio. We're working on the lighting. We're doing pretty good though. I mean, we're getting there. It's a thing. And it's either you're just like, okay, or where's my glasses?
Put your glasses on.
Oh, I'm still in denial. How about you? Do you do it? I can't stand it.
I have them, but
I do the same thing. I have them. It's like I'm always squinting though because I refuse to wear. I'm in denial. I tell Don that all the time. Okay, so what's the most fun that you've ever had on a motorcycle?
Most fun on a motorcycle at the track. Like, I'd have to say that Laguna Seca is probably one of my most favorite tracks. And, the experience of being able to come off the track, right behind your dad and your brother and everybody, coming into the pits and the garage, and we all are just laughing and having a great time. Like, you can't beat that. It's an experience that I never imagined we would be having, but my dad offered us that opportunity, because he helps a lot in building and maintaining the bikes that we race. So
that is so cool.
And we are going to Italy to ride with him in May. We just kind of all found out, and it's kind of one of those lifetime experiences that he's done, and we've always been like, someday we're gonna go with him. And he was just like, you know what, it's happening this year. We're all
now's the time. That's so cool. That's fantastic. I can't wait. I'm gonna follow you on Facebook and see all that. Everybody always says, oh, well, I want to follow along, but I can imagine you're doing all that. You'll post the pictures after. Everybody will all see it at the same time. It's like,
I think we're going to be doing some live stuff because it's, it's comical when all of us are together too. So
I love it. I do love that. I know I come from a big Italian family. It was always like that. It's always entertaining, if nothing else. That's for sure. Okay. So then what would you say would be your craziest breakdown story?
On my bike?
Yours or somebody with you?
Or like mental? No.
Yeah, any of that. I don't know if we want to talk about that here. It's being recording.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Don always says having kids is like being pecked to death by a duck. That's what he always says. So I get it.
Slow
Totally.
pecking, yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I haven't really had any breakdowns. Honestly, I like my bikes have always been pretty good. My Ducati used to leak oil, clutch was a mess, like But again, I would roll it in to my dad, and he would help me figure it out. And
That's
then
so
it
awesome.
got to the point where he was like, "Just sell this; it's a piece of shit."
Right. Okay. What's that?
Racing?
Oh yeah. And Don wanted to know: have you ever crashed racing?
No.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
I've
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was in a bad headspace at Thunder Hill a couple years ago, and there's like a part where there's a couple like turns, and then you kind of start climbing, and I did get to the top and went, but it wasn't terrible.
Okay. All right. Well, that
Like,
constitutes for not a great
Yeah.
one, right? That is too funny. Yeah, those are the worst too. You're just like, seriously, of all
Yeah.
you're
It
just
was
like,
just wrong
and
gear, wrong time thinking, like all
timing.
of it.
Yeah, timing
Yeah.
was off. Right. Yeah, there's
Right.
some days that it just doesn't jive. I've been
Right.
there. I've eaten pavement over that sometimes too, because
Yeah.
it just doesn't jive. Try to
No,
go a
I've
little too
crashed
far.
harder on a Super 73.
Okay. That's funny. That is too funny. Okay, so what would you say is your most cherished motorcycle moment?
The day that my R9T got delivered.
Okay, nice. I
Yeah.
like that. You're
It
just
was
like,
kind of like that bike that I kept like, really just wanting it. And my dad was like, he's like, it's too big. You're not going to be good on that bike. You need a smaller bike. And I was like, I want that bike. I want that bike. And,
right.
I think I manifested it and made it happen at the right price. And it just came to my winery in a truck.
Nice. That's got to be awesome. And it's
Yeah.
beautiful riding up there. So, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rolling hills and all that and the twisties.
Yeah, and you get a little bit of everything, if the weather is right, you can go up to the top of the mountain, and there's a beautiful lake, and it just, it's really nice. And it's a lot of riding, a lot of friendly riders. You see a lot of people on the road, and for the most part, the cars are pretty respectful.
That's cool.
So
here everything's flat. Everything's just flat.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to see. You get in northern Florida, you start to get in some. I've ridden across country and gotten to places, and I'm just like, wow, like it goes uphill, downhill.
Yeah.
Do we have to do that? Like
speed.
every time it says like 8% steep grade, I'm just like, oh, you can hear me. Don can usually hear me screaming all the way down. I'm just like, what in the hell? Because it's flat here. So that's pretty funny. Okay, so I think I already know the answer to this one, but I guess maybe you have your own. Oh no, that's the next one. Let's start with this one. If you could go back and tell your 25-year-old self something, what would that be?
Buy a motorcycle.
Nice. All right.
Because when I was in Santa Cruz, there was a Ducati dealer, and I would roll by it every day and just be like, I want a bike, I want a bike, I want a bike. And I just wish I had just done it sooner.
Right.
Just because it's been so therapeutic in so many ways.
Very much so. Yes.
Yeah.
They say that you never see a motorcycle parked outside of a psychiatrist's office. You don't need to. That is the therapy for sure. For sure. Okay. So if money and time didn't matter and you could take a road trip on your motorcycle anywhere with anyone, where would you go and with whom?
So I would like to ride in Argentina, and I would love to do like a lot of the northern part of Argentina. And I probably my brother would be cool.
Your brother?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you guys get a lot of time to ride together, like out on the road, or is it?
Yeah,
track.
it's rare because he's the dad too, and so we're
Yeah.
always really focused on kids and everything that we have responsibilities with the business and whatnot. But
Right.
if we have to go to like an event or something, we're both like, let's ride. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Even though
awesome.
it's a lot of freeway riding, but it's still like fun to be looking at each other across the
Now,
freeway.
when you go with your dad, you're going to Italy, right? When you go,
Mhm.
will you guys be riding leisurely, not racing?
It's so if you want to race, you can race, but we'll be more like, from what I understand. So it's the Motogiro, and we're riding from town to town, and then we get to taste
Oh,
food. So it
oh,
is
that's so cool. So then you guys will get
definitely
some of that. Oh, that is so
yeah.
neat.
Yeah, my
Very
sister and I were
cool.
talking about it today, and she was like, "Oh man, it's a week of riding. We gotta really get in shape for it." And I was like, "To do what? To go eat at every village? I don't think so.
Yeah,
Fine.
I love it.
I
That
think we'll
is
be
so
okay."
fantastic. That
Yeah.
is so cool. Super cool. Alex, Biker Rogue, I see you guys out there. I'm glad you guys tuned in tonight. And I'm so super happy that you're here with us because I really enjoyed. I know we didn't get to talk much in Sturgis at the Biker Bells. So,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed learning the history about your family and just even here, just getting to know you is really cool because, it's neat when what you do. I mean, it's family tradition, but then each of you, yourself, your sister, and your brother, you all play a different role at the
Right.
winery,
Right.
right? So it really is a family collaboration, and then it honors your dad. So does your dad still is he still around doing all this stuff, or did he just say, you know what,
Of
I'm going
course.
to play with my motorcycles and
I mean, yeah,
okay.
he gets to do that for sure, and we encourage it. He's now racing Formula Ford, so he's
Oh,
graduated
nice,
as well. But
super cool.
yeah, so and then he likes to travel, and so we're all about that, like letting him enjoy whatever he wants to do. But he can't help himself. He has to come and check and see what's going on, and so we try to limit the stress on him.
Right,
But
that is super cool.
if he wants to walk around and shake hands and say hi to people, we should let him. We know we don't have a
Yeah,
problem with that. Like, it's
right.
excellent.
Yeah,
People love it. And at the end of the day, he's the patriarch. He should be there. And
that
we
is
have a
so
cutout
cool.
of him in the tasting room. So if people don't get to see him, they can always photograph themselves with him.
Oh, how cool! That is so neat. I'm excited about that. Definitely, I'm gonna get a picture of that. Maybe I'll get a
Yeah,
picture in person and with the cardboard cutout. I love that. That is so awesome.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
So, would you tell us, myself and everyone watching, something about yourself that others might not know?
So I actually was a yoga teacher for 13 years.
Nice.
And specifically Kundalini yoga. So, all white, white turban, the whole shebang.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. The whole shebang.
Yeah.
Okay. So, was that now with yoga? That's not they meditate and everything, right? With yoga, it's
Yeah. It
very
was a
safe.
very meditative practice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to be centered for all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then my last week's guest, Miss Jess, she was on here. She's a hot yoga junkie, and I missed it. I guess they turned the temperature up to like 110 degrees, and you're
I think
doing
it's a
all that
little more
stuff.
than that, honestly.
A little more, really. Here in
Yeah.
Florida, all you have to do is leave the AC off. It's about the
Right.
same thing. So,
Yeah.
so
No. Go
with
ahead.
yoga, when you were doing it, do you still practice yoga yourself now that you're not an instructor? Or?
Not like I used to. I still every so often I'll do some of the meditations and such, but
Okay.
I feel like, it came into my life in a time where I was just looking for a spiritual answers to things.
Right.
Um, After, it was right before my son was born. I had experienced the loss of my first child. And so,
Okay.
you know, the am I going to be angry at the world or
Oh
what?
yeah.
And so I found that particular practice, and I really just immersed myself in it, and found a lot of peace in it and a lot of growth. And so, you know.
Right.
More so than
Yeah.
the Dead shows.
And yeah, right. Yeah, the Grateful Dead shows too. They help. They add a little peace and serenity
I
in
was
there.
saying
Too.
that was
I know,
good.
but then it was like, after Jerry died, what the heck are you gonna do? Like, I went to
Right.
college, and and Santa Cruz offered therapy to all the deadheads, and so
Yes. Oh yeah,
Nice.
most definitely. Yeah, it is a movement. It's not. That's a whole lifestyle. There was no flaking out about it. I
Yeah.
loved. It's like going to a Dead show is like going to a Willie Nelson concert. So it's there's their own thing, but it's a lifestyle for sure.
Yeah, and it's almost like really hard to explain to people, right? Like the experience of it. And so
Oh yeah.
I took my dad to Dead and Company in 2019, and he was like, I didn't realize, just the level of musicians that that they were or they are. And I was like, yeah. He's all, this is fantastic, like, thank you. And I was like, cool, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, there's so much to it. The emphasis is crazy, but it really does make you feel there's like this elated feeling once it all starts to go on, or just the rest of the world lets your cares go away, and
Right.
you can't really explain it as much as you have to experience it. So
Right, exactly.
that is super cool. So this show, we call it Home of the 5 Good Things because we believe 5 good things can change your perspective or a friend's
Right.
perspective when they're having a bad day. So would you be kind enough to share 5 good things with us?
Can you prompt me, like, what kind of good things, like
anything
from, like,
anything
my
good in your
life?
life that you're grateful for? 5 good things that if you were having a really, really crappy day, you could just tell yourself 5 good things and it would change all of it.
Remember to breathe.
Mhm.
Things always get better. Emotions are temporary.
Okay. Yes.
Let's see. Oh, I would say always have raw honey in your cupboard.
Raw honey.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
Okay.
good thing.
it's medicinal, but it's also like super sweet when it goes down, and it feels healing when you take a spoonful of it. So it's like,
Okay.
just a spoonful of sugar, but don't do white sugar, do raw honey instead.
Raw honey. Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And always have a glass of Doffo wine with you. Why not?
I love it. I love it. That is fantastic. And it really is really good wine. So, on that note, people can order it online,
Mhm.
but is there certain stores, like here we have ABC, Fine Wine and Spirits, things of that nature? Is there certain places that carry the brand?
So, outside of California, right now, the only state that carries it is South Dakota. But
Okay.
we can ship to pretty much any state unless they have really crazy alcohol laws, like Utah.
Okay.
So you can just directly order
All
from
right.
the
Perfect.
website. So just doffowines.com, and you'll be able to go on there. And then we do a really cool, like, Doffo Direct, where you can pay like a yearly fee and then ship as much wine as you can, or when and wherever you want. So if you wanted to send as gifts, you could do that too, which is cool.
Like that.
But yeah, you can get it, like, if you're in California, you can get it at a couple of the Total Wines in San Diego,
Wine.
and obviously here
Okay.
in Temecula. We're in quite a few restaurants in the Palm Springs, Palm Desert area.
Nice.
But yeah, we just really started to push a little bit of distribution because, we're still small, family owned and operated.
Yeah.
We don't make
Of
a
course.
lot of wine, but
Right.
there's definitely an interest in having the wine in certain places. So
Yeah, it's really good, like, for
thank
sure.
you.
And it's
Yeah.
good to know that we can send it because that's a great thing. And also, anybody watching, join the wine club. It's absolutely, definitely
Yeah.
worth it. And
It
you get a little
doesn't,
bit of everything.
it's just the cost of whatever the shipments are, because you can do a 2 or 4 bottle, club, and, you just pay for the bottles and shipping, and the bottles are at your wine club discount. So, but the cool thing is that you can buy wine at those, prices all year round. So if you do need to do some gifting,
Great.
and
And
one
then
of
you
the
get
other things
insider
is
information, right?
the best selling product we have is our chimichurri sauce. So if you're into
Oh,
chimichurri, It's delicious.
Oh, my son loves that stuff. We're definitely gonna have to get a hookup on that for him. He likes that.
Yeah.
He makes his own, so we'll have to get him
Yeah.
some and be like,
Just to
try this.
compare
Oh,
authentic
oh yeah,
Argentine chimichurri with his. Yeah.
for real. Yeah, it's funny because one of the girls that he hangs out with, she made empanadas, and she made them like from scratch with the dough and fried them and everything. And the whole house smelled so good. And I was like, they were flaky, and I was like, aren't you Brazilian? She goes, no, that's Argentinian. She's like, no, because she has family there or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's pretty good stuff. Stay away from me with that. Yeah, that's like an easy 50 pounds in a month. I could just sit and just
Tell
eat
me
that.
about
It was
them.
crazy.
My dad's wife makes them for every family dinner.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So they're really good, but yeah, it adds up.
Yes, it does. And as we get older, it doesn't come off as easy as it used to.
Yeah,
At
I don't
all.
want to talk about it.
Yeah, me either. That's so funny. Everybody, if you see this lovely lady out at events, races, make sure you say hello, share a smile. Miss Samantha, I can't thank you enough. And I look forward to meeting you out on the road. We get some of your other family members to come on the show and give some of their history too. And I'm going to get some of those pictures up on the website because, of course, my snafu there because they're really good.
If anybody ever wants to check out like our traditional family, we did an episode with Andrew Zimmern on family dinner. It aired last year. Yeah. And I believe you can find it on YouTube, but it's, it'll say the Doffo family, and it really goes into just like the tradition of cooking and how, my dad would make us sit down to eat and stuff. So it's really cool.
That is super neat. And that's something that it's important even still now today, where that's a thing that's missing. I grew up like that, our kids, even growing up, it was the same thing. You were home for dinner and you sat and you ate. And, so my grandson, he's 5, and we go to restaurants, and it's so crazy because, you never think
you have the tablet.
You never think you could love anyone more than your own kids, and then you have grandkids, and you're just like mine fight. Oh, he's the favorite, she's the favorite. I'm like, yeah, neither one of you. I got him now. Forget it. But yeah, he has there's none of that tablet time in the face or any of that stuff. It's actual interaction. It's like, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Quick as a whip. But that's the time invested that our parents invested in us, and it's our duty to invest in our kids too. Like you said, your daughter, soccer and things like that. You have to have those extracurricular. And I love that you guys are all still competitive. That's so neat. That is, because nowadays too many people get their feelings hurt, or everybody gets a trophy, and it's like you got to have that competitive edge to better yourself. It's not really anything more than to keep going and get better results every time.
Yeah.
So.
In our family, mostly our brother gets the trophies.
Yeah.
But he also races in like 3 or 4 classes. So,
Right. That's too funny.
You're still coming after Karen, though.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. You're still chasing Karen. So yeah, we're gonna have to know. We got to know the scoop on that for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you so much. Guys. And everybody, please make sure you go in Instagram, follow Motodoffo Collection, Doffo Winery, and Samantha _Doffo. You get all the information. You go to doffowinery.com, and remember, join the wine club. That's super cool. You need do you have anybody cool that you know of, Oprah? I don't know if she drinks wine, but could be in your wine club. That would be some pretty cool
Yeah. So I don't think she's a member anymore because she left California, but Christy Swanson was a wine club member of ours.
Really?
Yeah. She rides Indian, and so we still, we are connected on Instagram, and every so often she'll like whatever I'm doing, and I think she's awesome. So
that is cool.
Yeah.
That is neat. Yeah.
We've had celebrities come in, but for us, it's like, yeah, okay, cool.
Okay. They like the wine they're drinking.
Yeah. I mean, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis came, they bought a bottle of our reserve cab. Cool. They signed our barrel, and thanks.
Neat. Right. You're like me. You're not starstruck. It's like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. You're a person, you know. Yeah.
I think
I just did.
we get more starstruck off of Moto Pros. Like we've had so many cool people come through, you know, Moto GP racers and things like that.
Right.
That's when we start like, we're like, yeah, this is awesome. You know?
Exactly. That's me with the builders, like guys that I looked up to growing up. I was just at they were selling vodka, the Meili vodka. Jason Momoa came to town. So I went to go film and see how, you know, what it's like when Aquaman comes to town. And everybody's like, oh, don't you want to meet him? Don't you? I'm like, no, I'm here filming. Like, it's not a thing. Like, it's cool, but I wanted to get the reaction of the crowd, you know. There was a group of ladies, they got there 2:30 in the morning the night before. They were the first ones in the line. And I was like, okay, like those are fans. She had the tattoo. Momoa, huh? Yeah, the vodka tattoo. I was like, okay, all right, then. That was pretty neat. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But I'm like you. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. Nice to meet you, you know. Yeah. That was pretty neat. That was super cool. Yeah, can I fix your motorcycle? You're so bad, babe.
Yeah, no, like for sure. Like we had dinner with Quattraro when he was, you know, with us, and we were like, okay, tell us about the racing, and like, you know, we wanted coaching, you know. So.
Yes, you want the real scoop. You want to know all the good stuff, right? And there's like never enough time. You're like, oh, time to go already? No, I don't want to go now. I got more. That's cool. Well, it's such a pleasure. I so enjoyed having you here. And I look forward. And like I said, I'm going to keep up to date with what you got going on. I will be more than glad to promote anything. If you want to send me a flyer on the event in April, I'll put it up. So any of the ladies that want to make it out there, and then I'll put it on the calendar. And, you know, this year, next year.
Awesome. This week about that.
Oh, okay. And you're going to do that. We're going to go ahead and,
because I have, you know.
You have some. Okay, right. So, well, they can email me. Yeah. So they're going to email me.
So this is going to be open for.
All right, we'll keep it open, and then I'll get there. Friday. Yeah, because we get a lot of Monday night. They go to bed because it's past their bedtime at 10 o'clock, and then throughout the week I'll get like 6,000 people that watch the show, and it's like okay, yeah, and then I'll get all these messages and stuff. I get emails. I get some pretty strange ones too. I have some pretty strange followers, but that's okay. Yeah. To each his own, you know. If you've ever been to a Dead concert, you know there's quite a few.
Is it too late to win the wine?
Right. Too late to win the wine. Right, exactly. I'll get that. Hey, I know the answer. So again, the question was, who was the first woman to be on the Motodoffo label? So, all right. You guys send us that information. Thank you again so much.
All right. And, thank you guys. It was super fun.
You. Awesome. That is so cool. I had a blast. All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay, everybody. How fantastic is that? Man, we're so lucky. We have some incredible people on this show, and I love it. And I'm so grateful to all of you for being here and watching. So we're going to do 5 good things to close the show. So we're going to put those up there. My sign. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got my sign, Athena After Dark. Oh, wait. Home of 5 good things, Athena After Dark. I love it. I got some cool stuff around. We're getting it. You know, we're getting it all in order. So the David Manns are important. As you can see, the David Mann. Saturday night, Sunday morning, hanging right behind me. All my favorites up on the top row there. So, okay. So 5 good things. Everybody knows 5 good things can change your perspective. So be kind to yourself and others. It matters. That's one of the best. Share a smile with a stranger. As a lot of us know, it can change your perspective. It can also change theirs, change their day. Help someone who needs it. Even if you need help yourself, Lord knows we all need a little bit of help, but lend a helping hand. All right. Find joy in one small thing every day. That's very important because joy, sometimes you let it slide right past you. And we're not talking about the girl, Joy, as she walks by.
Jumps for joy.
Jumps for joy. I see Don over there. He's just dying to say it. Nothing from the peanut gallery over there, babe. Okay. And then, of course, remember to spread your sunshine, even on the rainy days. That's so important. It absolutely is. You guys are all fantastic. So check out the website, athenaafterdark.com. And you can follow us on Facebook. And if you go to YouTube at Athena After Dark and subscribe, hit like and all that good stuff. We're starting to get some really good YouTube stuff going on there because most all my followers are on Facebook and LinkedIn. And we're going to be going live to Instagram soon too. So I'm so excited. All right. Don't forget 2024 is packed full of great giveaways, events, guests, so much more. Keep watching. Check out the website. I gave you the whole skinny. All right. click subscribe and like. It means the world. Okay, guys, I'll see you next week with another fantastic, great guest. And have a great chopper week. Love you all.